Hello and welcome to GCS Today here on Channel 21, the program that brings you news and information from Gaston County Schools. I'm Todd Hagans. On today's edition, we talk with our new Kia Outstanding Educator from Bessemer City High School. And to help celebrate the 50th anniversary of Gaston County Schools, we spend some time with one of the most recognized teachers at Hunter Huss High School. Joining me on GCS Today is Kathleen Macdonald. She is a teacher assistant at Bessemer City High School and our 2018-2019 Kia Outstanding Educator. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Todd.
Now, what does it mean to you to be the Kia Outstanding Educator?
It's mind-blowing, actually, and the best part about it is that it was my coworkers that were kind enough to vote me into being the Kia Educator, and then to go on and win it was just beyond my wildest expectation. But it's really thanks to them.
Now, for those people that are not familiar with the Kia Outstanding Educator Awards, our schools and the central office each nominate what we say a person who is an unsung hero, someone who does a lot of work, who does great work, but doesn't always get the praise or recognition they deserve. And then we have a ceremony, and one name is drawn out of the bin, and that school or nominee or the central office nominee, whoever's name is on that card, is the winner and wins a brand new car. And that happened to you. What was it like? What went through your mind when you heard your name announced?
Well, I think anybody who was there knew I was in complete shock. I stood up there, it felt like an eternity before I moved, but I don't know how long it was. And it was surreal. It took a few minutes to sink in, and then it just hit me. I mean, a new car, so it's very exciting, but it was not expected.
Yeah, I recall having to call out your name twice
because,
because usually when the nominees are on the platform, usually you see a reaction or I can see the person. I thought, well, did she hear her name? So I had to say it twice, but I think it was just because you were in shock.
I was in that much shock, and I heard my better half scream out. Maybe when you called it the second time, I didn't even realize you called it twice, and that's when I was like, oh my gosh, it is me. So, excuse me to the person in front of me, and walked around.
Well, it certainly was a great moment, and an exciting moment. And we like to say that it's your Price is Right moment. I don't know
that's
that you ever thought.
That's exactly what it is.
I don't know that you ever thought you would have a Price is Right moment.
No. In my 15 minutes of fame, I just kept saying, I just can't believe it.
and so you have a brand new Kia Soul.
Yes.
It's a Kia Soul that
Kia Soul.
Was presented this year by Kia of Gastonia, and of course Mr. Chris Hafer, the president of Kia of Gastonia, has been so instrumental in making this program happen for the 6th year to recognize our program, our employees through this program. Let's talk a little bit about your job, working every day at Bessemer City High School. What do you enjoy most about your job?
That's an easy question. The students, the kids, they are amazing, and to me, high school is the most exciting age to watch them kind of decide what they want to do in life, and then planning their future, and they're young adults. I don't know, I just truly enjoy my interaction with them. I love them all, I really do.
And I know that you stay very busy.
Yes, ma'am.
Helping with the teachers, helping in other areas of the school.
Anywhere I'm needed.
Yeah, I sense that you are the kind of person that you welcome. You want to be busy and you want to be involved.
Oh, absolutely.
And help in any way that you can.
Absolutely. I mean, there's so many hard workers there, and anything I can do to help somebody else, because especially teachers that are in the classroom, and it's not easy for them to step out and do something, so anything I can do to make their life easier, or the staff, the front office staff, help out there, separate room testing, just anything I can do. And as for the kids, that's great, or to help others, I'm all for it.
And I think that attitude and that perspective is what we look for in a Kia Outstanding Educator because someone who is an unsung hero and knows the importance of teamwork, pitching in, doing what's needed to make everything run smoothly and to make the school great. So you certainly are an outstanding educator, so congratulations again on that. What do you want to say to Kia of Gastonia? I mentioned that this is their 6th year of giving a car to one of our employees, and we say give it to because it is yours. There's no lease, you don't have to turn it in after a year. It is your car.
A lot of people have asked me that, and you're absolutely right. And I didn't even know that at the time. And the other past winners, we call it the club now, they told me, you know, what to expect, and they said it is your car. I mean, I didn't even know that at the time. And the fact that Mr. Hafer does this, I mean, and that dealership, I mean, that what an amazing gift. I mean, just to give a car. I mean, and they just do it because he's very community oriented. You can tell when you speak to him, and it comes from his heart, and the employees. And when I went there to pick up the car, they greeted us, and it was raining that day. They had an umbrella. I mean, they just treated us like royalty. I mean, they're just, I mean, amazing.
You certainly are a celebrity at the local Kia dealership, and whether you realize it or not, you really are a celebrity now in our entire community with all the recognition that you've gotten, the newspaper articles, the television coverage. You're a local celebrity of sorts.
Oh, wow. It's a little overwhelming, but I'm telling you, I am so excited. So excited. Now,
why do you believe a recognition program like this for employees is so important?
Well, it is huge in the school system. Like you said, it's a very exciting time of year, and everybody gets keyed up and excited to see who is going to win. And, you know, just the chance that anybody can win it. It's not, you know, for one select group of people, say teachers or administrators. It's open to everybody. And just the fact that your peers are the ones that select you, and it you know, could be you. I mean, it's just exciting. It really is. And it means a lot that, you know, they think enough of you to, you know, I just expected a plaque and a cup of punch, and there it was.
and you got that, home, and also drove home in a brand new car, a place for it. So it is an important program, and you make a good point in that it is a program that recognizes. We've had teachers, custodians, bus drivers, teacher assistants, office personnel. We've had a wide range of our employees represented through that program, and so it's not just for a specific group in the school. So thank you for pointing that out. This question here. Do you feel like an outstanding educator? That's what we're calling you. You've won that award. But do you feel like that you're an outstanding educator?
I hope what I like to feel like is a team player. I don't know, that's kind of grandiose to call me an educator of the year. It's a team effort by everybody in this entire school system. So really there's many educators of the year out there. Was one year lucky enough to be selected and happened to win, so.
Well, we certainly think you're an outstanding educator, and your colleagues at Bessemer City High School, obviously they do to nominate you for this honor. And then it does come with, you're certainly deserving, and then it comes with a little bit of luck.
Yes.
To have that 1 in 55 chance of winning a new car. So you've got your car, you've been driving it around town.
I have, yes.
And you love it, don't you?
I love it, and it rides so smoothly, and thank you to Kia. They make a great product. They really do. I'm very, very excited.
And you told us before we began the interview you were driving a Honda.
Yes, a Honda Civic, which I had for 8 years.
And I think that we've had a couple of our previous winners turn their Honda into a Kia. Thanks to this program. So.
Yes, and I would gladly go back to that dealership. Mr. Hafer and his team are amazing. And Coach Kennedy, too. I didn't realize he was with Huss, Coach of the Year.
Right.
with the team. So
Right,
it was
yeah, he's with
kind
Kia
of like family.
Gastonia
Yeah,
now.
so it was nice.
Well, Kathleen Macdonald, we certainly congratulate you again on
Thank you.
being our Kia Outstanding Educator for 2018-2019. And we thank you for everything that you do at Bessemer City High School to make that school great every day. And we also appreciate you being with us here today on GCS Today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You are watching GCS Today here on Channel 21. We will be right back.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and frustration a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education, what are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else?
Or will you dare do something different?
Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills. The smarts.
Yes, you.
You could be the teacher I never forget.
That'd be cool.
Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
Joining me on GCS today is Jacqueline Robinson. She is the chorus teacher at Hunter Huss High School. And I think it's safe to say that you probably are one of the most recognized teachers at Hunter Huss High School. Would you agree with that?
I would. I've been there so long.
You've been at Hunter Huss 25 years.
Yes, that's correct.
And you're actually, this year, you're completing your 39th year of teaching overall.
That's correct.
So thank you for your service as a teacher. We really do appreciate it. What or who inspired you to become a teacher?
My relatives, my late mother was a teacher. She taught English and French. She retired from Gaston County Schools, but she had taught in Belmont, she had taught in Fayetteville, and she had taught in New York. That's where my sister and I were born, when my mother and father lived in New York. And then my other relatives, Mrs. Lillian Williams, she's my cousin, my late Aunt Mert Pryor. We just had teachers on both sides, in public school and in colleges. And I just saw how they were respected in the community. I also saw how they changed children's lives. And my mother said, make sure that this is your wish. You will not be paid for it monetarily, she said, but the benefits and the rewards will come later on in life when those students come back and tell you how much you affected them.
Okay, how did you take the route of teaching music?
Both my late parents were musicians. My mother studied at Bennett College under the late Nathaniel Dett when she finished college. My father sang with the Hall Johnson Chorale when they were in New York. That was in the 40s. And it was a professional African-American a cappella group who traveled the country, and it was just predestined. They would sing to us when we were in the womb. We would go to sleep listening to the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. And then before we moved down here, they took us to Lincoln Center. We would see Leonard Bernstein. We would go to the Broadway shows. There was just always music in our family. They both sang at St. Mark's United Methodist Church. It was, our lives were infused with music.
So being a chorus teacher, it seems like it's a natural fit for you. Mm-hmm. Is there something about teaching music, teaching chorus, that you enjoy the most?
A student asked me a couple of days ago, Ms. Robinson, why did you become a teacher? I love seeing those aha moments. Different students get it different ways. But when, for instance, yesterday, we're getting ready to have a test today, a student said, oh, that's the reward. You see the light bulb come on when they get it. And then they really do understand aesthetic value. They just really do.
Now, with the chorus and with your classes, you mean serious business in the
Yes.
classroom.
Yes.
And you take that subject very seriously. What do you think students can learn from being involved in chorus?
Choral music, performing arts in general. Number one, it teaches discipline. Number two, it teaches collaboration. What one does or what one does not do affects everyone else. So there is a responsibility not only to themselves but to their classmates. Even though I was a piano major, flute minor, it's the same. Intrinsic rewards that are not going to come immediately. This is the world we live in. Everybody wants it now. And it teaches them patience, diligence, to keep on working, to learn how to fail in order to win. We teach all of the other subjects, science, physiology, languages, speaking, breathing, their history. In choral music, if it is taught correctly, we teach everything. And they use all of that knowledge to become a better person.
It's so much more than just singing.
You're exactly right.
And I think what you've just mentioned really highlights why the fine arts are so important for young people to be involved in. How have you seen the fine arts make a difference for a student? Can the fine arts be a life changer for a student?
Yes. Often students will say, Ms. Robinson, chorus is the only reason I come to school. In your class, I feel safe. In your class, it's okay for me to make a mistake. I don't know what I would do without music. It helps me get through the rest of the day. And I try to tell them, well, you have to come to your other classes too. Yes, but this is when I come in here, I just feel wanted, important, needed, and said, it's not only just you, Ms. Robinson, but it's my classmates. She said, we're a family. And I said, well, very good.
And it probably makes you feel good
It does.
to hear those stories.
It really does.
And to feel like that you're having being very influential in the lives of young people and helping young people and helping them to learn and grow. Now, over the years, 39 years in education, you have taught a lot of lessons.
Yes.
Are there some lessons that your students have taught you?
Yes. They've taught me that for the most part, they're paying attention. They pay attention to things that I never would even think about them wondering about. And if I'm having a day where I'm making mistakes on the board, etc., Ms. Robinson, it's okay. You're human too. And I'm like, no, you're right. I don't always have to be right. I make mistakes. It teaches empathy. It teaches, a lot of times, just something that they say will make my day. Oh, Ms. Robinson, you ought to wear that color more often. I'm like, okay. Ms. Robinson, you got new glasses. Yes, I did. Sometimes they help me more than I think I help them.
That is neat to hear you say that, because I think sometimes teachers think that you have to be right all the time in front of your students because you want to set that example. But you make a good point that the students, they learn. If you make a mistake, they learn from it too.
That's correct.
So it is important. That's a good perspective. It's a perspective I don't think that sometimes we don't necessarily think about. So thank you for that. Now, I know that this year with our 50th anniversary for Gaston County Schools, you have been one of the members of our planning committee and have worked very closely with me over the past, I guess, year and a half. We started in January of 2018 getting ready for the 50th anniversary. And now we're coming to the close of our anniversary. As you look back on what we have organized and coordinated and done to help celebrate the 50th anniversary, what does being a part of that mean to you?
First of all, I was surprised that I was asked, but it means that education in Gaston County is all-inclusive. The people on the committee have been teachers, administrators, principals, secretaries, etc., and all the aspects of education work together to turn the wheels. And I also love the diversity of age, from the youngest to the oldest. And some of the other things that I particularly enjoyed are collaborating with a lot of people who are now in education that I taught. And I'm like, okay, whenever that day comes when I don't come back, education and greatness will continue because of the students that Gaston County has produced, and they have chosen to stay here instead of going somewhere else to give back to the community that raised them.
We like to think that you have had a hand in shaping young people and shaping their future and being an influence. And so to hear you say that, I think means a lot. That you know that our school system, our schools, our classrooms will be in very good hands today and tomorrow and on into the future. So, you know, 50 years from now, when the school system is celebrating its 100th anniversary, we're going to have good people taking care of the children in Gaston County. It's good. That's good to know. It's a pleasure talking with you.
Thank you.
We appreciate everything that you do. We know that you are a powerhouse at Hunter Huss High School and one of the biggest cheerleaders, I guess you could say, for Hunter Huss. And we know that you do so much for the students there. And you're going to help us out with our big 50 reception that's going to help close out this 50th anniversary. Your students are going to be performing for us.
Yes, they will.
And so we're looking forward to that. Jacqueline Robinson, chorus teacher at Hunter Huss High School, thank you so much for being with us today here on GCS Today.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching GCS Today. Stay tuned to Channel 21 for the latest school news and information. I'm Todd Hagans. We look forward to seeing you next time.